Good Beatles morning, my friends. Hello, it's Matthew Street. Welcome to my channel. As always, truly appreciate you being here. And folks, I think we all should. I certainly feel fortunate that I live in a time of artistic greatness, that I am live here and am witness to artistic wonder. Folks, it's very similar to being around, I'm sure, the people that were around during the era of Michelangelo, or they were able to see firsthand the works of Leonardo da Vinci, or hear the beautiful sounds of Mozart, or Tchaikovsky, or Beethoven. I can only imagine the timeless beauty of that art coming into you in those days. Well, we're seeing that now. We get the timeless beauty of the Beatles and their music and the wonder of their magic. I just feel that, folks, because we are live witnesses to this magical miracle of music, the Beatles. It's just a wonder to the world, to all humanity, and that we can be part of it and have a small piece of it in our lives and be here for it. We should truly be grateful and feel fortunate for that. Now, folks, I don't have the actual physical copy of the new remix of the Beatles' Revolver. It's out today, Friday. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, praying that I get it. But you know me and my track record, folks. I try the Beatles, I try Fest for Beatle fans, I try Amazon, I try independent outlets, and I never seem to get my items on time. So, folks, I am here to do a quick overview and review, though, of the contents of this Super Deluxe Revolver set. Matt, how are you able to do that? Well, thank goodness, the wonder of streaming, folks. I got up in the early hours of this morning and I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit down, and whether it's through YouTube or through Spotify, I'm going to listen to this thing, go through it once, and give a quick overview and review to my friends, my people I love so much out there. So, folks, I have a few copies behind me. I have Klaus's book, and I'm ready to go. I've listened to it, and I'm going to do a quick overview for you right now, folks. Let's get into it. Folks, let me just say this, okay? I'm going to go through a few things. I'm going to give you some highlights. The new remix itself, let's talk about that first. The new remix of Revolver, the 14 tracks, and Paperback Writer and Rain. It's absolutely stunning, folks. Absolutely stunning. The clarity is now amazing. Now, I'm not here to criticize the 2009 remaster. Not at all, folks. That is perfectly fine. If you're happy with that, it sounds beautiful on the most recent remaster. Great. But for me, this is my new gold standard, folks, for Revolver. I love the new remix. That's me. That's my opinion. It appears to be based off the original mono mix, the way they've done this, but it's more vibrant than any other mix I remember, the mono mix or the 2009 remaster. The vibrancy of it just hits you. It just seems so much more colorful now. I'm going to use a lot of different terms to describe it, folks, but the soundscape, as I was sitting there with my headphones on, it just enveloped me and took me in and pulled me in to that studio where the Beatles were, and just made me feel like I was sitting there with my eyes closed on a beautiful, comfortable couch in the studio with them as this sound came out of their beautiful, talented ways. I don't know. I know it sounds weird. I mean, it's cliche, folks, but yeah, it sounded like it was recorded yesterday. This new remix just makes it feel like the Beatles were here just last week and they laid this down. That's how perfect the mix is, in my opinion. And as I said, the Stereo 2009 is fine. If you like it better, great. I like this better. I think this sounds great. So, folks, high recommendation on this brand new remix. I love it. It's my go-to. Similar to how I felt about the Sgt. Pepper one in 2017. they're 1 and 2 for me. Sergeant Pepper remix and the Revolver remix are my now 1 and 2. And I said the Sergeant Pepper one was my gold standard. Well, now this is my gold standard for Revolver. With Abbey Road and the White Album, not as much on that remix, although I love those remixes. And I would think third place for me is probably the Let It Be remix. Love that one as well. Not as much as Pepper and now Revolver. So this is right up there for me, folks, this new remix of Revolver. I love it. Some of the highlights for me, quick, on the remix itself was Taxman, Tomorrow Never Knows, She Said, For No One, Love You Too, and Got to Get You Into My Life. I mean, I love the whole thing, all 14, and plus the single, Paperback Writer and Rain sounded fabulous. But those were my highlights from this remix. See, I'm trying to do the Reader's Digest overview review for you folks, so you'll have something going forward today. As for the mono mix, sounded fabulous, sounded stunning. Now, nothing too revelatory with it for me. I mean, again, I'm no audiophile, folks. I'm just a fan who sits in the chair, puts on the headphones, and floats downstream, baby, in Beatles world. That's what I do. I'm not one of these autophiles that nitpicks this sound or that sound or where's this or where's that. I'm just a fan like most of you. I just sat there, and although I didn't hear anything revelatory in the brand new mono mix, I do love it. I thought it sounded fabulous, but very similar to me to the box set from 2014, I think it was, when we got the mono masters. It sounds great, sounds wonderful. It's great. But again, I didn't hear anything that really made me go, whoa, like I did with the stereo remix by Giles and Sam O'Kell. Let's go some of the bonus tracks now. That's the one that people really hone in on, this bonus track disc stuff. The highlights for me, first of all, they're mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. If you've never heard some of these things before, you are going to be blown away by them. And I'm not complaining. People could say, well, we should have had another disc, or why didn't we get that, or isn't there more in the vaults? I don't play that game, folks. I am just, to me, everything I get is a gift. And in this case, I'm very happy with what we've received with these extra alternate cuts and bonus tracks. It's a gift, and I'm happy to receive it, folks. Some we've heard before, whether it be on the anthology or if you've able to get fan club only releases in the past. You've heard some of these things, albeit maybe in different form. In the case of, like, I'll give you one of my highlights right away, is Here, There, and Everywhere, Take 6. That's one of the highlights for me on these extra bonus tracks. It sounds like it's the one that we heard on the anthology, except without being Frankensteined. You know what I mean? I love the anthology one, but towards the end of the anthology version of Here, There, and Everywhere, you got that, the extra voices and such instrumentation came in. Not on this one. This is just pure, real, awesome Beatles and Paul right there. No extra stuff added to it to gussy it all up and, put lipstick on it or anything. It's just straight Here, There, and Everywhere, Take 6, and I loved it. One of my highlights. So, although you may have heard this version before, like I said, on Anthology or elsewhere, it just sounds wonderful here because they haven't played around with it. All right, some of my other highlights, quick, because I don't want this to be too long. I'm just telling you, I love this set. So happy that it's here. Tomorrow Never Knows, Take 1 is entrancing as heck. It is wonderful. It's a little longer than the final released version. It's 3.5 minutes long, and the sound on it is fabulous. You're going to love that. Take 1, Tomorrow Never Knows. Got to Get You Into My Life, the second version. No horns. Now, we heard this a little over a week ago when it got an early release digitally and stuff. There's no horns. I call it the crunchy guitar version because it rocks, folks. I love this version. The second version, Got to Get You Into My Life without the horns. Fabulous. Loved it. Got to Get You Into My Life, the second version, Take 8, is basically the backing track. It's an instrumental version with the horns of Got to Get You Into My Life, and it sounds amazing, folks. It just will pull you right in. It just shows you the skill and talent put into that song with the horns, the brass, the Beatles playability. It's just absolutely stunning. Highlight again, Love You Too, Take One. Wow, this one really blew me away. It's basically just George with his acoustic guitar running through Love You Too. Paul appears to be backing him. Correct me if I'm wrong, or is it George being double tracked on the vocals? But it sounds like it could be Paul in the background. But it's a stripped down acoustic version, George and his guitar of Love You Too, and it's absolutely stunning, gonna blow you away. Paperback Writer, Take One, the second backing. It rocks, folks. There's no vocals on it. It's just like the Beatles come in the studio, set up their instruments, and they just start saying, okay, let's go, Paperback Writer. No vocals, let's just play it. And wow, it's got to be one of the most rocking tracks on this whole set. You're going to love it, folks. It's absolutely stunning. Then there's Rain, Take 5. The actual speed, it says. It seems a little fast to me, like was it sped up or something, but it says actual speed, so this is how they actually played it. And it's like it could have been a twin with Paperback Writer if it had been released this way, because it sounds like a fast, upbeat power pop song now. It's just absolutely stunning. It just sounds great. I'm like, oh my goodness, if they had laid vocals down with this sped up version of Rain, or the actual speed of Rain, power pop all the way. I mean, this and Paperback Writer would have been a 1-2 punch for foundation of power pop. That's how good this is. So that's another highlight for me. And Your Bird Can Sing, the second version, Take 5. It's like a slowed down, stripped run through of the song, and it sounds amazing. Wow, I just couldn't believe how good it is. You're gonna love it, folks. It just brings you into a whole new world of And Your Bird Can Sing, and the Beatles just running through the track. Basically very stripped down. I'm not sure how many of the Beatles are there, but it's just very basic, but very beautiful. I'm Only Sleeping, Take 2 is like they're in your living room and they're running through the song. It's like they've come into your living room with just some acoustic guitars and a little bit of percussion. They set up and say, let's run through I'm Only Sleeping for this guy or gal here. Yeah, okay, go. It's that good. It's like they're playing it for you in your front parlor or in your living room. It's just a wonderful version of I'm Only Sleeping, Take 2. Remember that one. Another one, remember, I'm Only Sleeping, Take 5. It's a faster run through. Again, like the regular speed Song of Rain version. This is like power pop. It's I'm Only Sleeping, but it's faster. It's a run through now, but it's quicker, it's snappier, and it's like, wow, if they had done it at this speed, again, power pop, that stuff I love so much. You're going to love it. So check that one out. I'm Only Sleeping, Take 5, and let me know what you think. For No One, Take 10, the backing track is absolutely, For No One, beautiful on its own. If they released this without Paul's vocals, it would have been just a beautiful song in and of itself. Obviously I love the finished version with Paul, but this is absolutely stunning, folks. Just the backing tracker For No One. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Yellow Submarine, the songwriter tape, part 2. It's now more realized than that first one we heard a few weeks ago with John being like, no one cares, no one cares. That was cute to hear. It was a little over a minute long. But this version, now Yellow Submarine, is more realized. It sounds like just John and Paul working it out with acoustic guitars, and it's absolutely stunning, amazing, wonderful, beautiful, phenomenal, whatever I can say. It's one of my favorites of the extra cuts, the bonus cuts, I should say. And then, as I said, the Here, There, and Everywhere, Take 6 is absolutely great, without being Frankenstein like it was during Anthology. But my final one, I love everything on this whole set, folks. Everything on the bonus cuts, the remix, the mono mix. I love everything. A+, A+, A+. But my favorite of all the bonus cuts, She Said, Take 15, the backing rehearsal. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely my favorite of all the bonus cuts, folks. It's just like the 4 Beatles with their instruments jamming out She Said, rocking it out. Holy cow, is it so unbelievably good. You're going to have a tear in your eye, as I did when I heard this. When I heard this, and I had to go back to it again, I listened to this one multiple times, and I just was like, it just cemented it for me that it's all been worth it, folks, since 1964, at the age of 3 going on 4, that I heard the Beatles for the first time. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for sharing the gift of the Beatles with me as a young boy. And here I am all these years later. And when I heard that version of She Said, I said, yep, it's all been worth it. It has been worth it. All the money spent, all the hours spent listening to this band, worshiping this band, being a fan of this band, trying to turn on my other friends and family to this band over the decades. It's all been worth it, folks. And I feel bad for anyone who doesn't enjoy the bliss, the magic of the Beatles and what they've created throughout their musical career and solo career. Because this Revolver set is got to be, I think it's my favorite. As I've always told you, Revolver and Rubber Soul are my favorite 2 Beatle albums. And this has just cemented my love of this band, folks, forever. Folks, this is a great set. I wish I had it to show you, but you've seen enough unboxings till the cows come home. Do you really need to see another unboxing of this, of this set? Just take my word for it, folks. This is a review. This is of the music, and it's wonderful. It's magical. This isn't as detailed as I'm sure others will do, folks, but it's from my heart. This is beautiful. We are witnessing greatness here, folks. We have witnessed it, and it is here, and it is wonderful. Folks, I love you all. Please check it out. Check out my little highlights that I've mentioned that I love so much. You're going to love this Beatles Revolver Super Deluxe new set remix. Folks, what more can you say? We are fortunate because we are Beatles fans. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.